Okay. Today's plan is to do question and answers. I kind of want this to be a meeting that goes over from the very beginning to what we're at right now. So anything that you might have questions on, or you've been stumbling with, or concerns, or anything that's on your mind, this is kind of what this Zoom class is about today. Is we're going to cover all the topics. I did not prepare for this whatsoever, so this is really just about what you guys are needing today in this moment. So with that, I will go ahead and let you guys just start with some questions, and one by one, we'll go ahead and cover all the questions you have. So I hope you guys came with questions, because I posted in Facebook. If you guys have questions, please list them below, and I got 0 questions. So that's kind of why I'm not prepared. I did want to be able to come on here and go over anything that you weren't understanding, but nobody responded. So I don't know if that's either a good thing or a bad thing, but hopefully we can just have a good discussion today and cover as many topics as you guys would like.
I don't know that I have any questions yet, but I will start the discussion with just, because I am so new, that I am interested just to hear others' questions and feedbacks and their journeys. And, I'm still catching up on the classes.
Mm-hmm.
I did do the guided meditation this morning.
Awesome.
Looking for my guardian angel.
Yes.
And I felt like I was almost there, and then my dogs went crazy, and yeah. So I tried to go back kind of in the middle and do it. So needless to say, didn't get any guardian angel today.
Oh, you will get there. You'll definitely get there, though.
So maybe any tips or tricks on that? I guess that could be kind of a question.
Make sure you are not distracted. Yeah, definitely. Make sure you have a time where your dogs won't jump on you, or be in a spot where you won't be distracted.
Okay. Oh, look. I tried. I actually even went outside, but I guess they saw something inside and just went crazy. And so anyway, yeah. So that's where I'm at today.
Well, it's meant for you to do as many times as you want. You can also find other different videos on YouTube, or YouTube is really where I go to for pretty much.
Okay.
And I know you're not a video watcher, but my suggestion would be to, if mine doesn't work out well for you, to go on YouTube and then just start scrolling through guided meditations to meet your spirit guide, your angel team, your spirit team, something like that. And within the first couple minutes, you're going to know whether that one resonates with you or not. You're just going to feel this like energetic, happy feeling. You'll just know. You'll feel like it's right. And then just go along with that. So if mine doesn't work for you, you can find a different one and go along that. And make sure you're not distracted. That's the key, to be not distracted.
One thing that I found for me personally with my experiences with trying to talk to my spirit guides or trying to connect with them, I write down prior to my meditation, like things that I might want to ask them or that I want to talk to them about, because what I find with myself is I'll get to my spirit guide and then I don't really have anything to say.
You know what? So actually, that's funny you say that, because I was going to follow up with what you were saying. Was I have all these questions that run through my head, and then now that I'm starting to use the pendulum or to use the cards, I go to actually ask a question and I freeze. I'm like, I don't really know what to ask. What do I ask?
So I started with 3 questions. So I would just write down 3 questions that I knew in my head that I would want to ask when she shows up. So that worked for me. I mean, I don't know, everybody's different, but for me, that was very key.
Okay.
I would see her and all I would hear her say is, you already know. She always tells me the same thing. You already know. So I just started writing down things that I know that I want to ask her. So
okay.
That's what I
Good
do.
deal. That's a good little tip. Yeah, go into it already knowing what you want to. That goes along the lines of the Akashic records also. When you're going in to read your records, it's good to go in with an idea of what you're looking for so that you can announce what you're wanting to know so they can guide you in the right direction. That's the you know what to do card, that one.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I hate that card.
I get it all the time.
Yeah, right? You know what to do. If I knew what to do, I wouldn't be asking you.
Look, that's the one that's sitting on the top of my deck.
Right? It's my least favorite card. Oh, I've considered just taking it out, but it pops up so often. Let's just leave that as not even an option. You know, yeah, now you have to really answer. It'd probably just be off. Oh, that's a good question. Good little tip. Yeah, write down questions before you go into your meditation. That's a really good idea, actually. I usually just go in blind myself. Cool.
Kelsey, I have a question for you. I don't know if it has if it really is like relevant to review, but okay, so I am really struggling with doubting the answers that I'm getting for some things. So this is a whole different kind of rabbit hole that I'm going down right now, but like I've discovered I have something like I have 9 main spirit guides. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
So then I did some research and I found out that now I believe I'm Pleiadian, right? So I'm Pleiades and that's my home origin, if you will. And I've done enough research to believe and know with all of my channeling that I've done, that's where I'm from. So anyway, long story short, all these answers that I keep getting are very hard for me to accept and believe, if you will, because one of the things that I suffer from a lot is doubt. So, and I know this and it keeps telling me like, stop doubting, trust, have faith. And I know that I have to, but do you have any tips on how to just believe the answers that you're getting are true? Because literally I ask them every time, are you sure this is coming from my spirit guides? Like, because I don't necessarily, like, it's far-fetched for me. Like even me who like out of the box thinker, and it's, I'm struggling and I don't know how to get past the doubt.
Okay, so let's remember like when you first started diving into learning about spiritual stuff. In the very beginning, I'm sure you had doubts of like, okay, let's say for card readings, for example. I'm sure when you first started doing card readings, you were like, what, is this real? But
Right.
it just took that practice and it took that experience for you to start to trust it. So you diving into the fact that you're Pleiadian and doing research and it resonating with you, but you still doubting it, it's just because you're new to it. But you will get past that. The more research you do, the more practice you do, the more knowledge you gain in that aspect, I feel like you're going to move past that eventually.
Yeah.
But at this current moment, you're still just brand new. So it's normal for you to have that self-doubt. That's completely normal. And it's expected, actually.
Yeah. Like it's been like a year now that I've been doing the star seed and I'm all accepted. Like I'm Pleiadian. I'm 100%, like I'm on board with that. But like, so let me just tell you, it's telling me that I was a queen of Pleiades. And it's very hard for me to digest because I just don't see myself as necessarily like that type of leader, if you will. And for me, I don't know. I'm just having, and it keeps telling me the same thing. Like I was a queen in Pleiades, and I mean, queen can be deciphered as so many things. So then I said, okay, was I a queen? Did I have, was I on some sort of council? Like, maybe I was Pleiades is the 7 sisters. Maybe it's, I was part of the council. And it says, no. It tells me very clearly, no. And I said, so you're telling me that I was the queen? And it says, yes. And every time I ask it, it tells me the same thing. So I know I need to let go and I just need to believe and trust. But I'm struggling. And I don't know how. With this particular thing, I can't get past it.
Well, why is it so hard for you to believe it?
I guess because for me, one of my big things is I accept how everybody else is, and everybody's fine. And I'm very good at giving advice to everybody else. But when it comes to myself, I beat myself up. I'm a perfectionist. I doubt that I'm doing the right thing. So for me, it's just so far-fetched, and I'm just trying to wrap my head around it, and I really want to believe it, but I'm still doubting, and I know that it's stifling me.
Why is it so far-fetched?
I don't know.
It's totally
I guess
possible.
That's the thing.
It's true. It's as possible as the fact that you're sitting in front of me right now.
I know.
Right?
I know. I'm just having a really hard time with it. I don't know why. It's just this particular thing. Everything else I've seemed to accept and I trust and believe, but this particular thing I'm just having a hard time with, and I don't know why.
Well, let's dive a little bit deeper. Do you feel like, what's the emotional reason you don't believe this? Is there a doubt? Do you feel like you're undeserving of it? Do you feel like it's not possible for anybody, so it couldn't be possible for you? Like, what's the underlying emotional part?
I guess for me, I feel as if I know that I can be a leader. I know I have leadership skills, if you will. But for me, I am that person. Like, this is the best scenario I can give you. Okay, I am so look at every side of the situation because I'm a Libra and I always am so able to see everybody else's point of view that I swear I picture myself like if I were in a role of authority like that, I truly believe I'd be like off with their head, and then someone would go, but this is what happened. I'd be like, okay, let me rethink that. You know, like I truly like I just don't see myself having that like definitive leadership skills. I guess that's what I'm struggling with. But again, you know, if we're talking about souls, I mean, I don't know.
It's completely possible. It is completely possible.
I don't know why I'm struggling with it so much.
It's probably just your ego self talking to you. That's probably what it is. It's probably your inability to let go of ego and believe that this could actually be a reality for you in your soul's journey.
Yeah.
I think just because it's been a year and you're still trying to believe it doesn't mean that you're never going to believe it. It goes back to the practice,
The queen thing is brand new, so you're right about that.
Oh, okay.
That is brand new, the queen thing. And I guess maybe that's particularly what I'm struggling with.
Oh, well then patience, dear, you'll get there. It's surprising now, but you will get there. You'll be like, oh, you're gonna, oh yeah, you know what, that is right. I was a queen. I'm a queen, right? I got this.
My husband keeps calling me goddess, and like he's so supportive, and he's awesome. Like he truly, he's my twin flame. Like he literally brings out everything that I'm supposed to get out. He helps me with, but like he's like, oh hi goddess. Like he keeps calling me goddess, and I like kind of roll my eyes and I'm trying to accept it, but it honestly, like I feel like I'm being kind of like closed off about it. Like he says it and I'm like, oh, okay, you know, like, like I feel like I'm being mean, you know, I don't know.
I feel like this goes back to some sort of an emotional thing for you. Like there is a feeling of undeserving. And I think you should need to look into that emotion and clear that emotion. And I feel like that's going to open you up to being able to accept it and believe it. Yeah, there's something there where you feel like you're undeserving of it. That's what it is. And once you address that issue, that underlying emotional issue, I feel like it's going to clear away all this doubt that you have. But we got to figure out what that underlying issue is.
Okay.
Something that's happened along your soul's journey that has caused you to believe that you're undeserving of that. Maybe, I don't know.
And you know what's funny about you saying that is because like if I'm practicing with my chakra, like some things that I'll do with my chakra cards, like I'll say, okay, show me my card for today, like my card for representative of me today. You know what the one I get a lot is guilt. Apparently I carry a lot of guilt. I don't know. I mean, I do know that as a person, I do that, but it's very relevant. And I keep asking to help them get me to clear it. What do I need to do? And I just feel stuck.
There's something called the pendulum emotional clearing technique. You can actually use your pendulum and you can pinpoint exactly what it is. Going back to when we had talked about intentions and the words that you use when you're asking questions, you can go back and be like, okay, so what do I carry guilt about? Let's see. Is it something to do with my childhood? So you're going to ask, and if it says yes or no, let's say it does say yes. It does refer back to my childhood. Okay, well, what year in my childhood? Is it when I was 3, 4? No. 4, 5? No. 5, 6? Yes. Okay, so what happened when I was 5, 6? Was it something with a family member? Yes. Was it something with friends? No. You know what I mean? Use your words and your questions and discover the answer, and that'll take you to the answer that you're looking for. That goes right back to using pendulum.
All right, girl. I'll let you know.
Cool.
I get the shit out. It's killing me.
There you are. Yes. Hey, Mitch. How's it going?
Why is it so tough for me to get into class? I swear I have it saved, but it never takes me to the Zoom. But anyway, here I am.
Oh, you know what? Mine doesn't either. I have to copy the link and come back to Zoom on my computer and then put it in. I don't know why.
Okay. Yeah.
So mine does that too.
I have no idea. Anybody else have issues? No? I have no idea. I don't have issues anymore either. I used to. I don't anymore. I use a desktop instead of a laptop now. So that, I don't know if that has something to do with it.
I'm using desktop.
Yeah? Oh, I don't know. I don't know why then. Interesting. Cool. All right. Well, that was a good little topic. Pam is a queen. Got that right.
See, I can't accept it. Like, I just
Well, you will. You'll get there. Oh, that's cool, though. Pam's a queen. I guess I think about it like we're in the presence of royalty. That's awesome. I love it. Okay, who's next? Who has a question? Mitch, today we're doing questions and answers. Anything you want questions about?
I just want answers.
You just want answers? Answers. More and more answers. That's right. How are you doing in the coursework so far? Have you?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm caught up.
Okay, cool.
Well, I don't know if internally I am, but yeah.
sounds like we're all on the same page.
Right. We're all a little
I read
cute.
the material.
Awesome. Okay.
Today's the last day of the geomagnetic storm too, so that's good, I guess. There was a 3-day like geomagnetic storm going on from the 11th, 12th, and 13th. Yesterday was the last day, but apparently it was like things were like heightened, and I mean, I know I always feel it when stuff like that goes on, and usually what happens is I'll feel a certain way, and then I'll see it on like my Instagram or timeline or something that there's a storm going on.
Oh.
Or something, within the planets.
Would that be when I walked outside and was filming my yard?
It could, yeah. I don't know what day was that?
I don't remember, but I knew something was up, but I just could not figure it out myself. But I walked outside and I saw a shadow go by. I never see stuff like that. Like, I literally do not ever see stuff with my 2 physical eyes, but I have been lately. So I have no idea what that's about.
Heightened, and yeah, it's all heightened right now.
Yeah, I didn't know what that was about. And it wasn't a bird, because I looked up in the sky and it was clear and there was no birds flying around, and it was like one and then another one. I'm like, what the fuck is this? It's tripping. Because I never see stuff with my 2 eyes. I see it with my mind's eye. So it was completely strange. Yeah. Anyway.
Kelsey?
Yes, ma'am.
I have a question. Okay. So when I'm doing a reading, like let's say when I'm doing my Reiki sessions, or I'm reading my oracle cards and I see these visions in my head, is that me just tapping into their energetic field, or am I getting messages? Like, what's happening there? What is going on?
So
I understand the messages, I see them clearly, but what is going on? Does this question make sense? Like, how am I getting these visions? Am I tapping into their,
yeah, yes. So yes, the visions that you're having are clairvoyance. So you're getting clairvoyant images, you're getting clairvoyant messages. That's how spirit is giving you images. If you're doing a Reiki session or reading cards for somebody and you are actively tapping into their energy, their spirit team or your spirit team is giving you these images, and that's their way of relaying the message to you for you to give it to your client.
So it's spirit, either mine or their team is giving it to me.
Yes.
Is there a way of finding out if it's my team or their team?
You can just ask.
Okay.
Yeah, if you're in touch with who your spirit guide is, you can just ask, hey, is this coming from you or is this coming from them? Either way, some people's spirit guides will work with the other person's spirit guide to get the message. So you might be able to tap into their spirit team, or your spirit guide can tap into their spirit team. Either way, the message is coming through spirit to you from them.
Okay.
Yeah, you can just go ahead and ask your spirit guide too. If you're in tune with them and you know how to decipher information that's coming from them, just ask them and you'll either get a yes or a no. I don't know that it's important to do that or necessary to do that. Either way, the information you're getting is just information,
I just worry, like, when somebody asks me, like, how do you do that? Like, what? And I'm like, I don't know, like, I'd like to know the answer so I'm able to tell them what is going on.
Yeah.
Because if I'm like, I don't know, I'm just doing it, then.
Well, explain to them that you're clairvoyant and you receive messages from divine guidance as images in your head. Like I explain to people, it looks to me as if it's a memory. I see it as a memory that's playing out that was for your life, not mine. It's like I'm tapping into memories. That's how I say it.
That's how I see that too.
Yeah.
Okay. Carmen, I feel like with you, I think one thing that you're such a genuine soul. Like I feel like you care so much about others. I think, do you feel like you need to know because you feel like you're kind of invading their thoughts or like taking something that you're not supposed to? Is that maybe part of it?
Well, I'm now explaining to people, like, because I know that there's Reiki and then what I'm calling is intuitive Reiki, right? Which is a bit different. It's a different level, and so I automatically just start seeing these images. And so I like to now let them know, because then if I don't tell them, I feel like I'm going into their personal space and I see things that they don't know that I can see. Right? But I want to know exactly what, so I just feel like if they ask me, how do you do that? I don't want to sound stupid and be like, I don't know. And I want to provide them an educational answer. Right?
Yeah.
Sounds nice also and won't scare them away.
Right.
I want to be able to explain it to them how this is done, kind of teach them or whatever it is. So
I would say tell them that through the practice of Reiki, you've been able to connect to higher beings, to angels, to spirit, and through sessions, you are able to encounter angels and they deliver you messages that are meant for them. And it comes from a loving, warm, light place, and it's meant for them to help them in their highest good and their benefit.
I want to say one thing to put you at ease, okay? In your presence, Carmen, you give me a sense of ease, and that is just FaceTime. So I promise you that the people you're working with, they feel your energy. They know it's sincere. I think you're struggling with your own. You're like me. I think you kind of fight yourself. That's just my intuitive feeling. But you have a very calming presence. So I hope that helps you, because I feel like whoever's you're working on, they feel it too. Okay, they feel that sincerity, and they feel your calm and just you have a just naturally loving presence. So I don't know.
I do. It is just I don't know. But I get that a lot. Where so I know. But
I would say just have faith in yourself and know that people they're coming to you are coming to you for a reason. And whatever answer you give them, they're going to accept.
Yeah.
You just have to be okay with your answer.
Yeah.
Even if you do say I'm not quite sure how I do it, that's still an acceptable answer. Like I'm not too sure. I just know that I get information.
I just do what the voices tell me.
I should put up any alarms.
That's funny. Me and all my friends. That's funny. Does that help?
Yes, and I also have one more question.
Yeah, go ahead.
So I'm taking tomorrow I'm taking an Oracle card reading course, which I'm so excited about, because I feel like I'm really connecting to the cards. I don't know if I'll ever connect to the pendulum. I shouldn't say that. I shouldn't, but I love the cards. I love them. And so I'm taking a workshop tomorrow, and I'm just wondering, because I only can do like 3 to 4 cards. So I'm sure I'll learn how to do a full session. How much, I would love to start maybe, I'm throwing it out there and people are like, oh, how much do you charge? Is there kind of a way to know how to charge for how long does a session last? What does that look like?
I don't know. We've discussed this before. Remember?
I know, Kelsey, but I thought because I know you kind of struggle with yourself with prices.
Yeah.
Which is different because so when you kind of disconnect from yourself, you're able to see what other people should be doing, which you should be doing for yourself. right?
Yeah.
But I just wasn't sure if you knew what it looks like out there. What a session, how long a session lasts, how much to be charged.
I
Carmen.
struggle with this so
I know.
I have $25 for a card session set on my website.
Olivia, yeah, Olivia's right. Go look into like you had. I'm sure there's Reiki somewhere around within a 50 to 100 mile radius of where you live, probably. So just start calling around, see what they charge, and then depending on whether so you're gonna know in your head, and you're gonna feel it like, okay, that's a little extreme, that's too much. Oh, that's probably too low. So you're just gonna make your own prices, but you want to be in the same vicinity of the prices that people are offering around you. So that I would start there, like look at, like Olivia said, charging in surrounding areas. That's definitely where I would start, because then you can see what other people are charging, and then you just based on that.
Nobody wants a discounted reading.
Sorry?
Well, see, that's the part I struggle with, though. I was a person who needed the discounted reading. I didn't have $50, $100 to pay somebody for a reading. I did not have it, and there was nowhere I could get it either. And I heard people say, well, if you really needed this, Spirit would find a way to make it happen for you. Well, that was impossible for me. So that is where I struggle, because I could not afford it. Like, I could not. I couldn't just find $50 to get a reading. Could not. And that's where I struggle with, because I don't want people that were in the same position as me to miss out. You know what I mean?
Maybe it's one of those things where you work with the universe and you charge what you need to charge, and then every now and then when you really have that feeling with somebody you're connecting to, that one is either discounted, or the first time they are with you that it's no charge or half price or something along the lines, or just a pay it forward kind of thing too.
Oh, that's clever. Pay it forward, yes.
Yeah.
Another thing I started to do was I asked just for donations, whatever you could afford.
See, and that's awkward to me.
Yeah.
Because then I feel like that I am being put in charge of gauging what you think that
right.
I don't like that.
Yeah, I don't really like it either, to be honest.
If you noticed, I didn't use that the whole time you were doing I'm just going to go and
well, to be honest,
I just don't like that.
Someone gave me $1, and then another person gave me $20.
Right.
That was my first thought.
Too much pressure for me to pick that.
I was like, someone's going to take advantage of that. They're going to give her like a quarter.
$1. And then
I wouldn't want the bad karma.
Right, exactly.
Yeah, she definitely used my time a lot for that $1. 4 hours I spent with this lady. And I couldn't just shut her off. I don't know.
Carmen, keep it simple. I mean, if you want to start it, like, charge $1 per minute.
Yeah, that was the other thing.
30 minutes, $30. 40, you know what I mean? If you want to go over 30 minutes and your time runs over, $1 per minute after that. That's standard.
I mean, about that. How do you gauge how much time you're going to need personally to do a reading, though? Because my readings vary so much.
Put a timer up. You say, okay, here's the spread that we're doing, or, if it's a Reiki session, and you say, okay, and then you just put your timer next to you somewhere. Like, I'm sure your phone, you can set a timer on vibrate. And then when you hear that timer go off, you say to your client, okay, we're at 30 minutes now. Would you like to stop, or would you like to keep going for $1 per minute after this?
Yeah, and Kelsey, I've done other readings, and that's how they've been done, and it's very fair, and you pay up front for that first 30 minutes, the $30, and then they stop then and say, hey, do you want to go forward? And then, unfortunately, at that point, then you are relying on them to go back and pay for those minutes. But, if you're getting that far and you're connecting with somebody, I would think that 9 times out of 10, they're going to go back and, pay you for
I guess that makes sense.
So.
Okay, I just didn't know how it worked. I don't know. Online readings is new to me. Like, I literally started just doing not in person, but online readings. January, I think, is when I started online.
Mm-hmm.
In person, it's completely different. Like, in person, it's a whole other story, but online is what?
And maybe 30 is that, 30 minutes is the average. For me personally, 30, 45 minutes is about all I can, like, even handle in a reading or in a session.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, for Reiki especially,
Yeah.
I can go a little longer with the cards, but with Reiki, like I can't. I literally feel it physically, like I'm yawning. I feel it in the energy is just so.
Yeah.
I can't go more than 45 minutes for a Reiki session.
Yeah, Reiki wears me out.
Yeah. So, Carmen, you're a rock star. I mean, you really are. I don't think you give yourself enough credit.
Carmen is so kind.
You know, I had this amazing session yesterday. It was amazing. And then you get sessions where you're like, oh my God, that effing sucks. You know? Like, and then you question yourself and you're like, I'm not, you know, it's just, yeah. So, but then I just have to remind myself that I love doing this and I've helped many people and just focus on that, right? So,
and also don't be so hard on yourself, because technically when you're doing this and you're making money, it's a business, right? So just like anything else, you're gonna have bad interactions. You're gonna have, you know, those terrible customers, or just that pain in the ass customer that you can't please. It's the same thing.
Like, what number am I thinking? Oh,
it's just that because we're all empaths, every single one of us are empaths. So I feel like, beat ourselves up a little extra because we want to help people. And if we feel that doubt, even just a little, we think that we're not helping. What I need to tell myself too, as I'm giving you this advice, is that I need to stop doubting when I feel it, because they feel it too. Because
that's true.
If you feel it, you can't listen. I can't sell somebody something if I don't believe it myself. That's what I told my friend yesterday, and she was like, well, you do believe it. And I said, I do, but I do struggle with doubt. And the minute I have doubt, so does that person.
Yep.
You know? So
Pam, I wanted to kind of go back to your topic about the queen. I just wanted to kind of say, like, maybe you have this image of this queen and like how you mentioned off with their head, and you have this image of like a queen being extremely authoritative, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And maybe you have to shift a little bit your image of what you see a queen being, because I saw you, like, the fact that you post your cards every day and your crystals and all that stuff on Instagram and setting up your business page, for me, that shows queen. Like, that shows leadership. That shows you stepping forward and showing yourself and your passions and what you love doing and your authenticity. For me, that is showing a queen.
Yeah.
You know, and so maybe you need to shift your thought or vision of what a queen looks like.
Yeah.
And see what you're doing already.
Yeah.
You know,
you're right.
I don't know. That's what I saw. That's
right.
what I think about that situation.
Yeah.
And Pam, I've known you for 20 minutes. And the minute you said queen, I'm like, oh yeah, that fits. Like, yeah. I mean, it's not surprising at all to me.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Yeah. I know. My husband tells me all the time. He says, you know, all these people around you, they all want to be around you. You're like the light that everybody, you know, you're like the flame that all the moths want to go to. And I accept that, because I do see it in certain senses. But I do struggle. Like I beat myself up, and I know that with this kind of going down this path, this was going to be an obstacle for me. But I like having you guys is so helpful, like the support, because I don't really have that. I have my husband, and that's really all, you know. So it's like sometimes I feel like I just give him too much. Like I don't want to just throw up all this stuff on him, even though he's all about it. For me, I need my girls sometimes too. Mitch, sorry, no offense.
Right.
I love you too, Mitch.
I have 6 sisters.
Just being able to talk openly, have that friendship communication, like that's always been kind of key for me. And even though I'm trying to grow and not be so kind of dependent on that, I still need it. Like I tell my husband, like I love you and I appreciate that you're here for me, but I need these other women and men in my group that kind of have the same,
Understand.
you know, yeah. And
your husband's your husband, but you also need
exactly.
your tribe. Also,
Exactly.
your husband can be your friend, but you also need other interactions with other people to help fulfill you. You can't solely rely upon your husband for everything, and that puts a burden on him that
exactly.
doesn't necessarily need to fulfill for you.
And then I carry guilt, like I said, you know, because I feel like, oh, I'm loading all this onto him, and I don't necessarily want to, but I don't really have anybody else, and he's just so. We are literally yin and yang, because he can let shit ride off his back with no problem. No problem. Not me. I have to weigh it all out and like get it all figured out.
Right?
You know?
Write a list, pros and cons, do a ask the pendulum, lay the cards out, talk to 19 people about it.
Exactly.
The exact way. Yeah.
Exactly. So, but anyway, thank you. That was really helpful, and I know what I need to do. They keep telling me, you already know. I know. But, you know, help me do it, please. Like,
show me how. Can you give me a way to do it? Like, I need a how-to. I need the how-to. Dude, yeah, that's funny. Olivia, do you have any questions? I'm going to unmute you, Olivia. Are you there?
I'm here.
Awesome. Do you have any questions?
I just want to know where to find all the past videos.
It's all on the My Courses tab on the website.
Oh, like your personal website?
Yeah, it's not a collective page of all the past videos, but you know, I could do that. I could just make one page that has all the videos on it, but it's if you just click on the My Courses tab and then scroll down through all of them, like you'll hit Archangels, Pendulum, stuff like that, and just scroll all the way to the bottom, and the video's at the bottom.
Okay.
That's where you find them. Yeah. Yeah.
Kelsey, I want you particularly to do something for me. Are you familiar with power animals?
With power animals, like spirit animals?
Yeah, like they're called power animals, but apparently that's all I've read so far is power animals. Now, when I asked the pendulum, I said, do I have power animals? It said yes. And I said, how many power animals do I have? It told me 39.
Oh my gosh.
My husband has 48. I'm curious to see. I'm curious to see what everybody'd say.
Let's do it.
I just want to know if maybe, because I felt like that night, maybe I was getting not answers from my spirit guide. So I'm just curious to see if anybody else gets, because it was like, I said, do I have any power animals? It said yes. And then it went like way over 12. It was like over here. So I said, is it in over 20? And it said yes. So I said, can you please show me, is it double digits? It said 2 digits. So I said, please show me. It said 39. 39 power, like what is that?
Okay. Yeah, I'll ask right now. Give me just 1 second.
Yay.
Hi, Steph.
Hey guys, sorry I got tied up on a call and I couldn't figure out how to get into the dang Zoom link.
Everybody having that problem.
I don't know what it is with the dang Zoom link.
Yeah, I have to copy it and then go back into the Zoom.
That's what I finally did that. Yeah. So hey guys.
Hi. Maybe
I don't know what I missed.
I don't
know all the excitement I've probably missed already, right?
Bring your phone, Steph. You're hurting my neck. There you go.
There you go.
Sorry, guys.
There.
I'm trying to figure out how to adjust my phone. I need to set it up on something. Hold on a second.
Hey, I got this little tripod at Walmart for $8. Oh my gosh.
That's what I need.
The leg just fell off.
Okay, right here, look.
Never mind. The leg just fell off of mine.
Just stands up.
Oh no.
Never mind. I do not recommend
right?
tripod.
Pam, what are you doing with
The
yours?
bipod.
Me?
Bipod.
Oh, right.
What do you
I'm
have
on
on yours?
I'm on my laptop right now, but this on my phone, I just have this little thing,
Yeah.
and I just stand it up like this
Oh,
way.
that's cool.
It
Oh.
like a little.
You know what? I have one of those in the back of my phone, but it will only stand up going sideways, not long ways.
I got this thing too, if you guys can see this long thing.
Yes.
Huge tripod. It stands up.
That's awesome.
Yeah, I do a lot of my videos standing up, so that's what I use. All right, how many spirit animals does Pam have? All right, what we're doing right now, Steph, is we're or power animals. We're asking how many power animals Pam has.
Okay, cool.
Cool.
All right.
Where's your mom?
She is showing property showing a property to a client, real estate.
Cool.
So keep your fingers crossed that they'll want to buy a house today.
Oh, right on. My mom just bought a house.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh.
She said she wanted to get away from stairs, so she went and bought a house with stairs. I'm like,
Oh. I know. What do they say? Buyers are liars, right? They say they want something and they buy something else.
she didn't want stairs. She definitely got stairs. Oh, okay. I lost track. All right. Power animal. All right. So we got my pendulum. We got our pendulum. I'm just going to clear it of its energy here. I'm going to ask Archangel Michael to come and protect me while I'm doing this little session, while I'm coming in and asking for information for Pam. Fantastic. For Queen Pam.
Yay.
Queen Pam. Yeah, Pam is a queen.
She is.
See? You'll get that, Pam. All right, just power animals. We got Pam has power animals. Pam has power animals.
Do we all have power animals?
I think so.
I haven't heard of them called power animals. I've heard spirit animals, but I mean, I'm sure it's
right.
It's probably the same thing, yeah.
Same thing, yeah. Right.
How many power animals does Pam have? Let's do a 1 to 10, 10 to 20, 20 to 30. So I'm just writing this down. So, yeah, 1 to 10, 10 to 20, 20 to 30. And I'm going to use this as my reference. I'll do 30 plus. So I just wrote down the answers that I'm looking for. And there's my little reference right there. So I'll swing up here so it has a big link to go. Because it's a wide line, I'm going to have longer chain. All right. Oh, we're at 30 plus.
Yeah, that's what they said, 39.
Okay, let's see. So now we're going to go.
That's a zoo.
Right?
My husband has 48.
Wow. Okay, I'm going to ask too, Pam, for you. I'm curious. I'm stuck in practice.
So here's my next chart. I just wrote, if you guys can see it, 31 to 40. And again, I'm going to use the long chain and start up here. So I'll have.
Does she have more than 20?
I got 38.
Oh yeah, well that's about right. Mine's at 39, so it could be.
Or it could be 39. The way it's swinging through the 38 and the 39 is just like right through here.
Yep. That's what I got. So apparently it's right.
38 or is it 39? 39.
39.
Good Lord. Will she get more?
Yes?
Yes. Yeah. Oh, you got yourself a farm. That's awesome. That's cool. Oh, you guys, I got.
Yes. Pam,
What?
I got 39 too. I got 39 too.
Wow.
I asked for 38 and it went no, and then I asked 39 and it went yes.
Wow.
Seriously.
That's cool.
That's cool.
And you're getting more.
All right, Kelsey, give me some confirmation. How about all of you, if you will, if you don't mind? This is a kind of a personal, will you all ask about the queen thing?
Is Pam a
I
queen?
don't know how do you word queen from Pleiades, right? That's how you'd have to word it, right?
Is Pam a former queen of Pleiades?
Right.
Okay, let's all ask. Okay. You're right.
All right, I have my answer.
Former queen of Pleiades. Wow, I'm getting a strong yes.
I'm getting a yes too.
I'm getting a strong
Wow.
yes also.
Like crazy strong yes. Look at that. I know. Look at that, Kelsey.
Right?
I mean, that is strong.
Do you have your
Wow,
pendulum,
girl.
Lacey?
Yep, that's a yes. That's a real yes.
Olivia, do you have your pendulum? Or do you have a pendulum? I can't get her off mute. She got a yes too. She chatted. Okay, yeah,
Yeah, I got a yes.
Okay, good.
Wow.
Awesome.
Cool.
Yay! I want to know if I'm Palladian.
Ask it. I bet you are, Kelsey.
Okay, let's ask.
Oh, yeah, I know I am. I think I am.
The Palladian.
What's palladium?
The Palladian.
Oh, that's a rabbit hole. I'm not sure you want to go down, Mitch.
Is it a planet? Is it a planet where like aliens? Is
So
it associated with aliens?
Technically, yes. So Pleiades is the constellation of the seven sisters. Okay, the Pleiades. If you do research, a lot of like the star seeds that they claim are on Earth are from Pleiades. Now, if you go down, there's a particular video on YouTube that I would recommend. It is very hard to listen to. You need time and you need focus because the voice is kind of like a computer voice, if you will, but it will list all the descriptions of each planet. So like my friend, she's from Orion. My husband is from Vega, and technically I'm from Pleiades. So what I've done with the things that I've done with the channeling, that I've asked these questions with the pendulum and just meditations, I discovered that I was Pleiades, like I said, like about a year ago. But with my husband, I just discovered his a couple months ago. And then my friend, she's a little skeptical, so I only do certain things with her. But she this thing came up about Orions, and it was her to a T. And I had sent it to her, and she just was like rolling her eyes and kind of laughing. And she's like, okay, I guess I'm from Orion, you know. But it is too in depth for me to try to give you truthful, knowledgeable information, other than I can only tell you in depth about Pleiades because that's what I am. But you can research yourself and you'll relate to certain planets. When you hear they claim, if you're a starseed, which most psychic mediums, people like us, they usually are. They claim anybody that has any kind of a rough life or had a lot of challenges, very empathetic, kind of the misfit, never really felt like they fit in on Earth, if you will, to an extent, not always. But these are all just kind of symptoms of people that they claim are starseeds. Now, again, if you go down it, there's a particular YouTube, it says like, what is my origin star race? And I think that one should bring up, there's 9 of them, of the planets that they talk about. Again, I can only really elaborate on Pleiades and Vega a little bit because my husband is Vega.
That's cool.
But it's really cool because, again, it's a kind of like a belief thing. You have to believe that it's possible. And for me, like I said, this is a year going on now, so I've accepted the Pleiades thing. The Queen thing is brand new, so I was struggling with that. But I guess I can't struggle with it anymore, right?
Well, it's completely possible. If you're in a point where you believe that you have experienced past lives, then.
Now, what did you say, Kelsey? Did you ask if you were Pleiadian?
Oh, I forgot. Oh,
I got a yes.
Look at this. I don't know if you can see this. I haven't heard from my grandma since before she passed away. My mom just found this and she said it was meant for me. And I don't know if you guys can read it or not, but it's something that grandma wrote. It's the only thing that's in the notebook and it's about the moons.
Aww.
No. All I saw was from Granny and I was like, what is it? And I opened it up like, oh.
Wow.
I love you, Granny. Aww. My Palladian. Yeah, let's see. Am I Palladian?
I got a yes.
Yeah?
Clear, yes.
I got a yes.
Yeah.
Aww.
Yeah, I
Soul Sisters, Pam.
I didn't need to ask the pendulum. I already knew.
I know, right?
Right? That's cool.
That's cool.
Maybe I was your fortune teller or whatever. Maybe I was like your star reader. Or what are those people called? What was
Jester?
Something like that. Like maybe I was your. Oh, of course I can't think of the term. Never mind.
I think I know what you're trying to say. I can't think of the word
Like
either.
in Egypt, when the pharaohs had the people that came in and did that
I
stuff.
can't think of it either. I know what you're talking about, though.
Okay. Yeah, that was a really good description. They came in and did that stuff. Oh, shoot. I feel really good right now, you guys. Okay, let's see. Who else has questions?
I've got one.
Yeah.
How do the automatic writing and remote viewing, are you familiar with that?
Mm-hmm.
I mean, like, there's a bunch of documentaries on it. Some military guy at
Yeah. That's cool, isn't it?
just kind of curious. Are they kind of the same thing?
Uh-huh. Yeah, it's right along the lines of mediumship and channeling and that kind of stuff. It's you being able to, like astral projection. For remote viewing, it's similar to astral projection, except you're not actually leaving your body and going to another place, but your spirit, how do I explain it? It's your spirit leaving your physical area and viewing another area.
Your
So,
consciousness
just like,
or whatever.
Yeah, your consciousness, your spirit. So, like, for instance, one of the exercises that we're going to do is we're going to be sitting in one room. I think we already did this in the very beginning. What we did was we tried to recreate what was in our bathroom. Okay, so, yeah, there was just a couple of you that actually did this. I did.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, where I had you guys try to remember where everything was in the bathroom and then write it out and then go and check. That is a form of remote viewing, being able to see an area without actually being in the area.
Okay.
And that's just a basic step of it. So for the ones that didn't do that, we haven't covered remote viewing yet, but we will. But one of the exercises that I had everybody do was I had them try to picture their bathroom and the placement of everything, where like shampoo bottles were, a razor, or a bar of soap. Try to just like pick out the details. Put yourself in the bathroom and see the bathroom without you actually being in the bathroom. So that is a form of remote viewing, and that's using your clairvoyant ability to see the bathroom. Yeah.
Kelsey, you are doing something on the automatic writing, correct?
Yeah, I think that one's going to be next, unless you guys want to do Akashic Records next.
I really kind of want to do the records next.
The records?
That's
Okay.
just me.
Oh, we can do that.
Yeah.
What do you guys think? Collectively, what would everybody like to do next?
Probably the records.
Records?
Yeah.
Records? Records?
Yep.
Yeah, records.
Cool. Okay, cool. That was easy.
Mitch, what do you want to do?
I don't dare go against the queen, so yeah, the records. I don't want my head to be chopped.
We don't want to cut his head off.
Off with your head. That's
Right? He's a witch.
Oh.
I was only using that as an example. I would never be that queen.
That's funny because neither of them were there when you said that.
Oh my god! I actually
we were.
That was my reference. I was like, oh, I would be that queen that was like off with their head, and then they would go, but wait, this is what happened, and I'd go, okay, let me reevaluate. Hold on.
Take it off.
You're the queen with a conscience.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's cool. Cool. All right. So Akashic Records is next. Yeah, there was other people that had commented saying they were excited about that too. So I think that's what we'll do.
I just have one suggestion about before we go into that. Like you mentioned it earlier. I think we need to be extremely specific before going into it about kind of what we want to find, because there's so much in there. I feel like we're gonna have to. What do you think, Kelsey? I don't know. That's just
yeah, we're definitely. Before we go into it, we are definitely going to make sure that it is okay with our spirit team before we dive into it, because if you go in and you're not ready and you access information you're not ready to see, it could totally scare you, freak you out. You'll get incorrect information. You'll feel like they're lying to you, like it's not valid. Like there's a huge number of things that could go wrong by accessing your record. You personally aren't ready to access the record. So the way to... What is that sound? Stephanie, what are you doing?
Sorry, y'all.
I
Somebody's
muted
multitasking.
you. I muted you.
Dang.
Mute me. He's playing. Sorry.
Okay. I just saw you on the floor like doing this. I'm like, what is she doing?
My son took all of my K-cups out of the box, and he's got them all over the floor right now.
Oh, K-cup party.
K-cup party in my kitchen.
Yeah, my little girl does that too. She will just make the biggest mess. And when I'm cleaning this one up, she'll be on to the next one, just tearing shit up.
Exactly.
Oh, yeah, it makes me crazy.
I have a 1-year-old. I can relate. She's.
Yeah, I'm OCD, so it makes me crazy. I really wish I wasn't like that, but I can't fix it.
You are, please.
Okay. Yeah, so before you go to your records, there's what we're going to do is we're going to make sure that we're in a state of mind, in a place where we can be able to access the information correctly, because if you're not in the right state of mind, if you're not ready for it, we're going to make sure it's very clear to not be able to access information that could scare us away or could harm us. You know, there are certain things that you can access in past life, such as, let's say you were found out to be a witch and you were burned at the stake. I don't want you to have to experience the sensation of being burned alive, because it's very possible that you will experience that sensation, and it could be very harmful to who you are right now if you're not ready for it. Or you could find out truths that you're not ready to find out. Let's say maybe you were a murderer or a rapist in a past life, which is completely possible. I know, yeah, it gets really deep and dark sometimes. I'm not saying it will happen, but there is the possibility that you will find out information that you are not ready to find out about yourself. So you got to be in a really good place.
I have a question.
Yes.
A couple years ago, I went, I don't know if it's past life regression, I don't know, but I went through kind of like a hypnotherapy kind of thing, and she took me back, and I saw a few lifetimes.
Yeah, cool.
And she said, each lifetime you are like the victim, and then the next lifetime you're the it starts with a P. You're the
perpetrator?
Yes.
Predator?
Then again, you're the victim, and then you're the perpetrator. And it goes like that. Is that true?
I haven't found that to be completely correct.
Okay.
If she was explaining it in a sense of just that, I don't really get it. If she explained it in a sense of maybe like, you keep coming back to these particular victim perpetrator things because you have a particular lesson that you need to learn. Yeah. There's always usually an underlining karmic reason why whatever life has the things that it does. So I don't really get the whole, oh, well, it's just every other you rotate. No, there's a reason. There's usually an underlining lesson or something you need to purge. These things keep coming up in lifetimes because it's something important that you need to get rid of. That's what my personal experience. Again, everybody's different, but I don't really get the just, oh, well, every other, there's got to be a reason. I mean, usually, you know.
I also have experienced that for me, what I believe is that we choose the life that we're about to live. Like, I call it the blueprint. Like, there's a blueprint of the life that we're about to go into, and we sign a soul contract saying, this is the life that I want to live. And a lot of people are like, no, there's no way I signed up for this to happen. But it's so that your soul can experience different experiences throughout life. So
your soul contracts, soul agreements, things like that.
Like,
you know, and you can get past them if it's something that you in this life don't necessarily want, but you have to purge, you know.
Yeah. True.
You got to go through the bad to get through to the good.
Something's wrong.
What's wrong?
Are you okay, Mitch?
Yeah. No, my internet keeps going in and out.
Oh.
So I told my kid to get off his game.
Okay. Do we need to call 911? I don't even know where he's in Utah. I don't know what's going on. He's in Utah.
Kelsey?
Yeah.
I know we go through our lessons in life, right? You learn a lot of shit. And so is there any way, because I always talk to myself, I'm like, hey, I learned that lesson. I better not take that shit to my next lifetime. Like, can you prepare your next lifetime? Be like, I better not bring that stuff into my next lifetime.
I think so. The closer you become with your higher self and your spirit team, you're going to be able to. Hi. I was with your mom. Okay. I think you're going to be able to communicate with them and like I was calling it, was like a blueprint of your life, right? I think the more in tune you are with it in this lifetime, you're going to be able to go in and access that information and change it how you want to. But also, you're going to find it to be surprising that the reason you don't want to do it in the next lifetime is because of your ego self right now. Us as people, we don't want to go through tragedy and heartbreak and emotional trauma. It's just what we don't want to do as people, but it is necessary to grow. It's necessary to evolve.
I know each lifetime you're going to have those lessons, right? I know that's just part of life. But like, let's say, okay, I'll get a little personal here. I always had this image in my head, the type of partner I wanted. And I always looked for the charmer, right? The one that would say the right words, make me feel good, all that stuff. But I've learned that is not the partner I have to look for. It's the person that is the doer, not the talker and, you know, says the right things. So I've learned that lesson that this whole lifetime I've had this image of the guy that I wanted, and that's not the guy for me. So now I'm like, I better not bring that to my next lifetime. I've learned which I'm supposed to have now.
Right.
So
I don't know. I don't
Marcy?
know. I'm sorry. Can I interrupt for 1 sec? I feel like with that, sweetie, I think you're telling yourself that you cannot find that in the qualities that you need. There is a man that can possess both of those, all of those qualities that you're looking for. I think what you're doing is you're creating this image and you're going, okay, that's not the image. But what you have to tell yourself is there is an image of somebody who's perfect for you, that has those charming traits, that has those things that appeal to you. You will find the best of both worlds. It's not one or the other. I think you're in your head, I think you created them separately when there is a man out there that has all of those for you. Do you know what I mean?
Okay.
Does that make sense?
No, it totally makes sense. It totally makes sense. I should be more open to that than just excluding.
In fact, I think you might be turning away men or partners, if you will, that could be potential partners for you, but maybe you're turning them away based on their charm. Do you know what I mean? I don't know.
Yeah.
That's what I'm maybe feeling that I'm getting when you were talking, like saying that, like, don't judge a book by its cover, if you will. Because my husband, I'm just relaying this to my husband. He is a charmer to the outside world. I tell him all the time, you could sell ice to an Eskimo. Like, he's literally the definition of charmer. But in the opposite, he also is the best supporter, the best. I mean, he helps me with the kids. Like, he's the best all around. But he is kind of a bullshitter. Like, I mean, if you didn't know him, he'd be the best salesman. I tell him, I'm like,
that's how my husband is too. Yeah.
He could sell ice to an Eskimo. Like, he'd go, this is the best water because da 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 da. And they're like, it's just
but everybody
water.
will believe it.
But he'll be like, no, this is why. And you're like, okay, I'm gonna believe you. Like, that's how he is, you know?
Right? My husband's the same exact way.
I think that maybe you have this image of the charmer being just that and not real.
Okay.
So just remember that the charmer can also be the doer.
I love that. I love that. Yeah.
Thank you, Pam. You made me see it differently.
Good. I felt like I had to say it because I felt it when you.
Thank you. I appreciate it.
Perfect. What are you eating? Oh. It's like, what smells like fish? Cool.
Love you.
Oh, I love you too. Welcome home. All right.
We love you too.
I love you too. You can say hi. I put this hat on. There's Meg.
Hi.
Hey.
Hi.
I like your beard, man.
Yeah, I got it tucked up here so I don't burn it. It's a little bit longer, actually.
He's
Thank
a
you.
welder, so he like.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Mountain Man Dean there.
Nice to meet you guys.
Nice to meet you.
Hi.
Here's my
See ya.
son.
Kelsey, how did you guys meet?
Oh, that's a story for another day.
Okay. I'm totally curious. You have to tell me.
That's a story for another day.
Hi.
Hi.
Okay. Oh, L-I-N-D-S-E-Y.
You want to say hello to everybody in the group? Here. Easton, you guys, Easton wants to say hi.
Hi, Easton.
Hi, Easton.
He's got a head of hair.
Oh my God, he was born like that, Nick. He was born with a head of hair.
Oh,
I can't believe how good your baby's being. What a good
Well,
kid.
he's being so good right now. I know. I'm so
Easton
proud
and
of him.
Ariana's baby.
Easton, say hi. Look, baby.
You guys want to hear a cosmic story about my babies? So
Yeah.
my son is 7 and my daughter is 1. Both of my children were 7.5 weeks premature, born on the same day to the day. April 26th is their birthday, and they were both born on Thursday, April 26th, 2012 and 2018.
Whoa.
And they were both 7.5 weeks early,
Wow.
premature, and had to be in the hospital for 5 weeks.
That's crazy.
Isn't that crazy?
Whoa.
Yeah. So
Whoa, that's crazy.
they're my little cosmic kids.
Cosmic twins.
I call them the 426 twins because, they both had head full of hair. The only difference between their between their physical appearance is that she's a boy, or he's a boy and she's a girl. Like,
Oh, this is cool. We're meeting everybody's kids today. Awesome.
This is my daughter, Analia.
Hi.
Hi, sweetie. Oh, she's so beautiful.
Is this your daughter that just did the concert, the I don't know, I watched it on the dance, yeah. There you go.
No, that is my other daughter.
Okay.
But my daughter, Analia, just finished her sign language, her level 2 yesterday. She took her sign language.
Yay.
I can see.
Congratulations.
Oh, that's awesome.
Congrats.
Aww.
Carmen, she looks
It
a
was a
lot
big
like
deal.
I'm so proud of her. She's like signing.
My sign name is Mom.
Oh,
That's what my kids call me. Yeah, so my sign name is Mom. That's awesome.
Yeah.
Oh,
I'm so proud of her.
Analia, for everybody that doesn't know, Analia is a sensitive. She's very intuitive. She's very intuitive. I picked that up immediately on her.
Yeah.
Wow. That's cool. What a nice little meeting we've had.
nice to meet you guys.
That was nice to meet you.
Bye, sweetie.
Congratulations.
Thank you.
That's cool. That's gonna
This is
take
my baby Luna.
Oh,
Luna.
hi.
Luna looks pissed.
She just woke up from her nap.
Is it Luna? Is that what you said?
Yeah, Luna.
Oh, I love that
Beautiful.
name.
I love it.
Thank you.
That's awesome. That's cool.
All right. So, do we have any homework before? Are we doing Akashic Records next week, or anything you want us to do prior, or did you have something?
No homework. This was really, we've gotten so many new members that I really wanted to just have a question and answer today and let everybody kind of get caught up where we are.
Where are all the new ones?
I don't know. Some people work. Some people have jobs.
Some people have real jobs.
Yeah. All of us slackers here today.
That's kind of what I thought in the very beginning. Like when I wanted to go ahead and change the time, somebody had asked me, she was like, well, I work. And I'm like, oh, wait, you know what? I realized none of us that are currently on here actually go to work on Fridays. Like we all have kind of free time. Yeah, no homework. I actually have a lot of homework that I have to do myself because I really want to know as much as I can about the Akashic Records before I promote it to you guys or present it to you guys. I know a little bit about it, but I don't want to go in and leave something blank that needs to be learned. So I myself have a lot of homework to do. As far as the group, no, just there is no homework for the week. Just be prepared for next week. We're going to start the Akashic Records. I did just do the little video to give you a brief idea of what the Akashic Records were, but next week, next Friday for our Zoom class, I should have another video or something written up whatever I do this week, I'll type it up or present it to Facebook for you guys to see it before we go into class Friday. So there is no homework for this week. Just practice. If you guys have more questions, feel free to reach out to me. But yeah, Pam's the queen. I love that. I love that. I love that. I'm gonna meditate and tap in and see what I can see about you later.
Let me know.
Yeah, that'd be cool.
I actually might want to do. That's for later, but I might want to do a reading with you, Kelsey.
Okay, cool. Yeah, for sure. Definitely. I want to read you too. Yeah, that'll be cool. Are we good? Is there any more questions?
I think I'm good.
Everybody's good?
Okay.
All right. We're all queens and kings. That's right. That's right.
That's right.
I feel like I was her magician or something, though.
Jester?
Like, something like that. Like, since I met Pam, I knew that we had some sort of soul connection from the very first time, like, we crossed paths. But
me too.
Yeah, maybe I was your magician. something like that.
You're still looking for that word.
Yeah, what is it? It's in the Bible.
Is it? Oh my gosh! Red Hot Chili Peppers talks about it. What is it? A pauper? Pauper? Is it P-A-U-P-E-R?
Pauper?
That's a poor person.
Is it? Okay, that's not it then. That's not what I'm thinking.
What is it? Let's see. I'm gonna Google it real quick.
Kelsey,
Huh?
can I just throw something out there for myself? Tomorrow that I'm taking that workshop, and I was wondering if anybody wants me to practice on them, with the new information I'll be getting. Can I just throw out there giving a couple free reading card pulling sections?
Girl,
If
yes.
anybody's interested in letting me practice on them.
Yeah, absolutely.
Practice on me.
Yeah. Who, Mariana? Yeah, you guys connect if you would like to. I don't care. Yeah, you guys can promote, post, do whatever you guys want on Facebook. If you guys ever have questions or want to offer things or whatever, like, that's what it's there for, is for you guys to put it out there. Whatever you guys want to do with it. It's your guys' page. Do whatever you want with it.
Before we all could leave, I asked my pendulum if I was going to move in the next 3 months, and it said yes, and I'm so excited. And that's what I want. If you guys could ask that for me.
Let's do it. Yes. Is Mariana going to move in the next 3 months? Does anybody hold their pendulum different recently? Or does everybody still hold theirs the same?
Same.
Same.
No, Kelsey, you're going to have to wait. You're going to have to wait.
I got a slow yes, so that means that things could change. I don't have a strong yes. My slow yes.
Started off slow.
Yeah, it's just that it's not saying a maybe, but it's a slow yes. So it's along the lines of it is very possible and it will be happening, but things might change.
Okay.
Stay positive.
Yeah.
Thank you.
But it's not a maybe, so
I
it's
don't
not undecided, and it's not a no. So you are along the lines of a yes.
Okay.
Olivia said that she would exchange a card reading with you, Carmen, that she would love one and she would exchange with you.
Thank you. Thank you. And thank you so much, Kelsey, for just being so amazing. Honestly, you really, really are. And you're such a kind person and so giving, and it's just, I'm so glad I crossed your path. And you have no idea how much I appreciate all the stuff that you do and the readings on Tuesdays and everything that you do, honestly. So
thank you so much.
Agreed.
That's so kind. I love you guys.
Okay, I'm hungry. I'm taking off. I want to eat.
Okay, cool. Awesome. It's been so great connecting with you guys. I will have this available for replay on the website. I'll post the link in Facebook also, so if you guys want to come back and watch it at another time.
All right. I'm wishing everybody a wonderful weekend.
Oh, thank you so much.
Bye, guys.
Bye.
Bye. Anybody else have any more questions? Or are we good?
All right, real quick, I'm just gonna read you what it says. I put magician and history synonym, and it says enchantress, hag, hex, sorceress, warlock, occultist, thaumaturge. I don't know if I'm saying that right. Thurgist, wonder worker, medicine man, shaman, shamanist, or witch doctor.
Ooh. I like hag.
I liked enchantress, so
Enchantress.
I think that one sounds prettier.
That's cool. You know, I've wondered if I am a shaman. I used to think that I wasn't. Like, I know what a shaman is, and I didn't think I was a shaman. But the more I'm learning about myself, the more I'm learning that it might be a possibility, actually. And it came about when I realized that I was my great-grandmother incarnate. By realizing that, I know she was a witch doctor in her lifetime. And by me being her reincarnate, that would mean I'm a witch doctor also, which could also mean I am a shaman. So...
And based on the fact that you're Pleiadian, you've lived hundreds of lives.
Right.
So,
Well, I mean, and just the work that you're doing, obviously you're a shaman. I mean,
yes.
All the healing and the teaching, and so.
Yeah, that makes sense. That makes a lot of sense. Yeah, but it was really...
The idea of what a shaman is can be kind of a narrow view, and I think a shaman does lots of different things. It isn't just a healer or someone who can access, past lives.
Look at your right hand.
My right
underneath your pinky, okay? Where your pinky line starts, right here.
Uh-huh.
From here to here, I have little tiny lines, like it seems like thousands of them. I don't know, I'm being dramatic, but there's a lot of little tiny lines. And they say the more lines that you have in that particular area, it's representative of being a healer in a past life. Now, I don't know about you, but I have so many that I can't even count. But they're very fine and they're very small, but they're going to start under your pinky and they're really tiny. Put it on in like a flame light, and that's when you're going to see it, like a flame of a candle.
That's cool. So I did this video on palmistry, but that's definitely not something I talked about.
Yeah. Well, I just learned that myself. So
that's cool. Yeah, I didn't know about that.
Yeah. But yeah, they say the little tiny lines, and I don't know. I have a lot of.
And they go vertical, right?
They go horizontal. I think it's the way they look.
This way?
Like little check mark. Like what's the word? When you're keeping tally. You know what I mean? They're like tally marks, but
trident marks.
But they're like right under. They follow your.
Yeah.
Line. Yeah.
Mine go up and down.
Yours that could be too. Again, I'm not a professional on this palmistry stuff, but
girl, I got charts. Let's look.
That's what they say is like under the pinky. That's representative of healing, of you being a healer in a past.
Do you guys know how to share the screen? Because I've got charts all over here. Anybody know how to share your screen?
I lost my screen altogether.
Uh-oh.
But I can still hear y'all. I can still hear you.
You know what? I don't know. I could show you. I've got like 18 different little charts over here. Descriptions on them.
I don't know. But yeah, I don't know. I thought that was a cute little thing to learn. My husband, his are like very deep, and there's a ton of them. Like I told him, I said, I swear you're like 1,050 years old. Like I swear he's old.
Wow.
He's probably the oldest soul I've ever met. Like
wow.
Do any of you watch the show? It's called The Travelers.
No.
It's about.
What's it called?
It's called The Travelers. It's on Netflix. It's about people who come from the future to the 21st century. Anyway, there's this one particular character. He's in the youngest body, but he's the oldest living human because he was the first consciousness that they transferred to the past. So I pick on him. I go, "That's you. Like that's my husband," because he literally everything just slides off of his back. Everything's gonna be fine. He trusts so easily that everything's gonna go.
Wow.
And I'm just
so
I get so envious and sometimes a little resentful, because it's so easy for him. And I don't know. I told him, I was like, I don't know if it's like the female versus the male thing. I don't know, because Mitch, I feel like you are very good at kind of that too. I don't know you personally on that level, but I feel like you're really good at that too, probably.
Right.
But yeah, I pick on him. I'm like, you're so old. Like, he's the oldest soul ever because he's like, so we did, listen to this. Have you ever heard this before? My husband's main gatekeeper spirit guide. Ready?
Yeah.
LOVE.
Love?
Who has love as their gatekeeper spirit guide? My husband.
Wow.
That's who his number 3rd is. I did his 3rd spirit guide. I said, show me his 3rd spirit guide, please. Tell me how many letters. It said 3 letters. As soon as it went to G, I already knew it was going to spell God. 3rd spirit guide is God. I said to him, I said, are you kidding me? Like, who has God as their spirit guide? And he goes, I don't know, probably someone that needs him.
That's awesome. That's cool. I don't even know where my card is.
But yeah, I
That's
was like,
cool.
I don't know. There's something special about my husband too. And I don't know. I mean, again, I know we're twin flames. I've gone down that whole, like, we've done numerous things. So my husband and I, we're going to be doing segments on Instagram. I don't know if any of you guys follow me on Instagram, but starting, so there's technically 7 or 8 stages of twin flames. All right. We have literally gone through every stage except for, I think, possibly I might have to go away for a week. Like, that's the point we're at. Anyway, we're going to start, not anything bad, just like, you know.
Oh, yeah.
So we're going to start, I kind of talked him into it. He didn't really have a choice. I mean, he did have a choice. We talked about it. But we are going to do 20-minute or less segments for 7 or 8 parts on Twin Flame Journey. So we're going to start with before we met, how we felt. I'm going to kind of explain my personal experience. And
Cool.
So we're going to do kind of like the evolution, if you will, of the 7 stages of Twin Flames.
That's cool.
We're going to put it out there for.
Can you post it on YouTube?
Everybody.
Do you have a channel?
I don't. I should.
Listen, so a word of advice I have learned. My mentor, who owns his own businesses, millionaire, whatever. Anyway, his advice to me, which I have just recently started to take, was YouTube. YouTube is where you're going to go. YouTube, you can literally put your videos on YouTube and then post them to all these different platforms. Okay. But initially, YouTube is the place to start it, your hub, because then you can take your YouTube videos and post them to Instagram, post them to Twitter, post them to Facebook, post them to
really easily. Huh?
Yeah, but
so what I would do is I would do it on YouTube and then I can share it to Instagram.
Share it to all your different platforms. Yeah.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Cool. Good to know.
That's what I've been doing. That's how I started creating my videos. I created my videos on my computer and then I post them to YouTube and then YouTube to everywhere else. So then I have my channel. But you could, for our courses, I have all mine unlisted. So if you go to my channel, you can't see any of them, but that's what I've been doing.
Okay. Cool.
Yeah, YouTube's where it's at. And that way you can have it across all your platforms.
Yeah. So I'm excited about that. I think
that's cool.
I think we might do our first segment this weekend as long as we can find the time. So
that's awesome. So. Girl, that's cool.
So,
that's
exciting. I feel like that's going to open some doors for me. I don't know why. I just feel like it's going to open rewarding doors for me. I don't know why.
Cool. When spirit calls, follow. Yeah. That's awesome. I'm excited to watch these.
Yeah.
Hey,
I'm a little nervous. Like, I don't know. I don't know if I'm nervous. I'm actually more excited, but I think maybe the nerves are because my husband Eric is not really fond of doing the videos. But I told him, I said, it's not like you're doing it by yourself. You're not just going on to, I'm kind of like, I'm going to hand him a script. This is coming from a man who I begged to write his vows before our wedding. And he said, I'm not going to write vows because I'm going to forget everything. I'll stumble over my words. I don't need to write it. It's all going to come from here. And then I had this beautiful vows. And I made everybody cry because it was so emotional. And he goes, ditto. And I was like, oh, I'm going to kill you. He tried to make up for it. He did say some other stuff afterwards, but I'm telling you, we got married in 2015, and I still give him shit about it. I'm like, you still owe me for our vows. Like,
that's so funny.
But
That's
anyway,
awesome.
He was like a little skeptic or a little adamant, or he didn't really want to do the video thing. And I said, well, because we talked about it, he agreed. And then when I said, okay, we're going to do it on this day, he was like, I'm not ready to do that yet. And I said, okay, well, there's no time limit, but so then he says, I don't know, I just don't really feel comfortable talking on video. And I was like, but it's us. Like, I feel like when we're sitting next to each other, we're kind of just going to feed off of each other. It's going to be easier. And then when I explained it like that, he's like, okay, yeah, you're probably right. Because we'll bring things out of each other that we wouldn't necessarily do if we weren't sitting next to each other. So I just have a really good feeling about it, and I think he's finally on board. So hopefully this weekend will be our first one.
Hey, raise your arm again like that.
Which one?
Pull it out a little bit. I'm trying to debunk something I just saw. Your other arm. Your left arm.
Which one?
Your left one, yeah. Pull it away a little bit. Get away from you.
Oh, wait, okay.
Like, not like this, but like this. And now go slow. I just saw someone behind you.
Did?
Yeah.
Whew.
Well, I needed you to redo your arm so I could debunk it to see whether it was a shadow or not, but your shadow is not what I saw. Wow, that was cool.
Oh. Probably my dad.
Yeah?
I'll have to try the replay.
Yeah, I'll have to replay that. That was cool. That's exciting about your little show that you're going to have, dude. That's cool.
And then one last thing I'm going to say, and I'm going to shut up because I got to get going, but I had my first with the pendulum the other night. I was using it a lot. I did a lot of stuff. I was finding my spirit guides, going down these different, asking questions, just trying to get a little more knowledge of anything that will help me, just to purge whatever I need to purge. And it was about probably, I'm not gonna lie, it was probably about 2 hours of me doing this. And finally, I started getting answers from the pendulum that I did not feel for any of my spirit guides. So they were just weird. They weren't making sense. And so I backed up, I stopped, I breathed, deep breaths, and I said, am I speaking to anybody on my teams right now? And it said no. And I said, am I getting knowledgeable information serving my highest good? And it said no. And I said, is there an evil entity within my vicinity right now? And it said yes. And I said, goodbye. I'm done with it.
Wow.
So that was my first experience of something negative trying to come through. It wasn't anything, but I had a feeling. I got this feeling. It let me know. It wasn't very long before I realized, it was probably 2 questions, and I realized it felt different. The vibe was different. My energy changed. And I feel like it was, I don't know that it was negative, because honestly, I didn't feel any kind of fear or scary or any kind of eerie sense. I think it was the pendulum or the universe, if you will, telling me, you're done, sweetie, go to bed. Like, you've done enough. And I did. I stopped. I felt it, like the energy, just like, I looked at my husband, I said, wow, I'm really, really tired. I wonder why. He's like, you know how this works. I'm like, so, but it was, I just thought I'd share that because it was, I know I felt it. And for me, the feeling, the sacral or solar plexus is where you feel everything. For me, that's my most powerful tool, if you will, for channeling or just knowing.
Nice.
So as soon as I felt it and I felt like it was wrong, I asked, and it was.
Wow,
said,
that's good that you trusted your intuition. That's good that you were on and was able to pick that up instead of continuing on.
Yeah, because I feel like any room that you use for your, where my altar is, where my Reiki table is, this is my energy room, like, if you will. And I think that it is an open portal for anything, good or bad. Do you know what I mean? Like, not, but you know what I'm saying. Like, it's inviting, and it's inviting to not only positive. You have to be careful, because, and I know what happened for me is, I was doing too much, and I allowed that other thing to come through. But again, I don't know that it was that, or if it was just basically telling me, like, be done. Like Kelsey, you said to me one time, if you don't stop and take a break, the universe will force you to. And I do believe in my heart that that's probably what that was.
Oh, like it wasn't necessarily evil, but they were saying that to get you to stop.
Yeah, like you're done.
Yeah. True. Yeah, they will get the information to you one way or another. So if you need to stop, they're going to make you stop by any means necessary.
Yeah. Oh, sorry. I was going to tell you guys before we go. I'm gonna send some. I'm gonna copy and paste something into our our group Facebook thing. I'm gonna send that to y'all when we hang up. It's something that my mom sent to me yesterday, and it's telling us about this upcoming date. It's coming up quickly. It's gonna be June 18th. June 18th.
Full moon.
So no, that's the 17th. So the 17th is a full moon. Yes, you're
Strawberry
right.
moon.
17th is a full moon. So that's a great day, I hear, to charge like crystals and stuff. If you guys have your crystals, like to charge your crystals on the full moon. So I'm going to definitely do that. But June 18th, which I guess is Tuesday, that is supposed to be like the most spiritual day of the entire year.
Really?
For this whole year.
Wasn't it Solis?
Is solstice?
Summer Solis?
I think it is. And they're saying on that day, you want to do everything you can to like really tune into yourself, like extra more than you normally do because of the energy that this day is going to hold. So you want to like meditate and all this stuff. So it's going to be June 18th. It's coming up on Tuesday. I'm going to send you guys information about it. It's going to tell you about what's like the energy of the day and different things you can do to really get yourself into spiritual alignment. But it's really exciting because it's going to be there's not going to be an energy like this the rest of the year. More is intense the rest of the year is this day coming up. So it's really exciting. So I want you guys to all be able to take advantage of that.
Yeah, it's not summer solstice. That's the 21st.
No, it's not. But so it's all around that. You see what I'm saying? It's around that summer solstice though. It's close. So it's an energy kind of around that day, but it's apparently that day is supposed to have some crazy, amazing energy that we all want to tap into. So I'm going to send that in the group. Just make sure you guys read it because it's really cool info.
Hey, wasn't that the day after we're supposed to do the mugwort?
I was just going to ask you about that because we were going to do the mugwort on the full moon, right?
Yeah, we're going to do the mugwort on June 17th.
Right, and that when you guys read this email I'm going to send you, it tells you to do a lot of spiritual things even leading up to that day. It's set to do as many spiritual things as you can leading up to. So doing the mugwort would be amazing to do.
Wow. Can I share it outside of the group?
Huh?
Can I share it outside of the group?
Share it to anyone and everyone you know because this is going to affect so many people who are tuned into it, who are tuned into it. So I'm going to put it in our group and then just share it out. Wait until y'all read this information. You're going to be so excited.
Cool.
I can't wait.
That's cool.
So June 18th and every day leading up to it. Yeah. Yeah. So make sure when it comes in there to read that because it's important info.
Cool. I'm going to share it. I'm going to make a newsletter and send it out.
Oh, yeah. I sent it to like 20 of my friends by text yesterday.
Oh, cool.
Yeah.
Hey, you guys, so I've been considering the idea of making a newsletter. I've got like all these people's emails and I don't even know what to do with them, but I've considered making a newsletter. Would you guys care if I went ahead and sent an email to you guys like every so often?
Yeah.
Too bad, Mitch. Getting it anyway.
I'd rather have one that I like than all these other ones.
Okay, yeah, I'm not even sure what the content's going to be yet, but I just wanted to see if it was okay to go ahead and send it out to you guys. Because I'm going to send it to everybody that's signed up for a log of membership on my site, but that includes everybody. So that'll include you. See, I'm new to this technology stuff, so it's still evolving, so I'm not quite sure how to, like, whatever. I'm just going to send you guys. I'm going to send you and everybody else stuff. Okay, cool. As long as I get approval.
Yeah.
Cool. So, yeah.
What do you want to learn about, Mitch?
Me?
Yeah, what do you want to know about? What interests you right now?
Everything.
Everything.
Sponge, okay?
Yes, everything.
This is a dry sponge.
A dry sponge. Pour adding water or squeezing water onto that sponge. Cool. Yeah, the Akashic Records is going to be fun, you guys.
Can't wait for that.
Comfy.
Yeah.
On your own by yourself and just let me know later. I was curious to find out. Now, you said you had 4 main spirit guides is what you discovered that day?
Yeah.
Last week?
Mm-hmm.
I I discovered that my star being spirit guides are separate. There's 6 of them and 9 of my regulars. So I'm curious to see how many star being guides you have.
That's a good question.
Because I didn't realize they were separate. I thought they'd be the same. Like I thought my spirit guides were my spirit guides, and the 9 of them, one of my star beings or my star beings would be in that, but they're not. They're separate. I have 9 main spirit guides, and then my 6 star being guides.
Masking.
Yeah. Oh my goodness.
7?
7. So and they're separate from your spirit guide, your main 4, right?
I would assume so.
Because I had to ask because I was confused. So I said, so I have 9 spirit guides. It said yes, and I said, and I have 6 star being guides, and it said yes. They're separate. They're separate teams.
Oh, okay. So I have 4 Earth guides. Yeah.
4 spirit guides, yeah.
Yes, and then.
And you have 7 star being guides.
Do I have 8? I want to get a different answer than a yes. So do I have 8? No. Do I have 6? No. Do I have 7? Yes.
You have 7 star being guides.
Yeah.
So that's cool. So they're separate from your 4.
Wow.
Okay. All right. I was just curious.
That's cool. So I got this whole group of people.
Yeah.
That's cool.
I bet you have a lot of power animals too. I bet everybody does. I think that we all do, personally.
Yeah, I wonder if mine are all cats.
You know, Kelsey, mine probably are too.
Yeah.
I freaking love cats.
My first 2 are a horse. My first one is a horse, and my second one is a butterfly. That's all.
Oh, cool.
That's all I've found out so far.
So the only positive thing I have found about all my cats dying, well, all these cats that I have dying, is that I can let all my other cats in the house now. So I wouldn't, there's only 1 cat that I let in, but I wouldn't give any of the other ones special treatment because I wanted to be fair to all of them. So I made them all stay outside, except for the 1. But now that I only have 3, I let them all in. So,
you know what, Kelsey? That's a good idea, darling.
Did you ever figure out kind of what it was? I mean,
Aww. Oh.
No.
God bless him.
Yeah.
I know that is so hard to go through.
Yeah,
so
like 3 in less than 2 weeks.
Right.
Like, that's never happened to me, ever. Like, I've never had that happen to me. You know, that's crazy. Like, they all turned 1. We're like, all right, we're done.
Aww.
Yeah,
really?
Crazy.
Wow.
Like I'm trying to find like a silver lining, but I don't know what to say except I'm sorry.
No, I don't either.
I don't either. Like, and they were the chosen ones. Like, I don't know. I'm not sure.
Yeah, it's like maybe they were here just for a short time to transition, and they're supposed to be with you while they were transitioning. You know what? I don't know. I mean,
no, I kept them outside.
But
So,
I know, right?
I don't know. I would let them in occasionally when my husband wasn't home. I'd have all of them inside.
Hi, Megan.
Hey.
I don't know.
All right. Well, I have to go. I'm with Carmen now.
Yes.
I gotta go eat some food.
Yes.
Oh, right on. Cool.
Hey, guys, I shared that post about the upcoming day, June 18th. I just put it in our Healing Vibe group and the private healing request Facebook Messenger group. It's in both of those.
Cool.
Oh, cool.
So
Okay,
can go
awesome.
read it. Yeah, it's all. Yeah, it's gonna be exciting. It's gonna be exciting.
Oh, I see it. Sweet. Yeah.
It's kind of a long post, so make sure you read it all because it gives you suggestions of things you can do on that day to help really align your spirit.
Cool. That's
Yeah.
exciting. Awesome.
I know.
All right. Well, thank you for sharing that with us. Megan, do you have any questions or are we good? We're all good?
No, we're good. I'm just listening and driving. So.
Oh, right on. Is Aunt Mamie with you?
Today.
Is Aunt Mamie there?
Yep.
Hi, Aunt Mamie. Aw, it's my Aunt Mamie.
Aw.
Cool. All right. Love you guys. I'm going to hop off.
Love you.
I'm going to stop recording. I guess
Bye, guys.
Got to.
Bye, y'all. Love y'all.
All right. Bye, guys.